we'll see what happens there. The FBI released a poster of 10 of the Capitol rioters who they have good pictures of their faces, and they're publishing the 10 faces because they're looking for the public to help them identify them. What's wrong with this story? Before I tell you what's wrong with the story, this is being reported, I think it's a real thing, that the FBI has 10 faces they're asking the public to help them identify. What's wrong with that story? See if you know. And remember, the faces are really clear. You can see them really well. What's wrong with the story that they're asking the public to identify them? Here's what's wrong with the story. They don't need the public to identify them. They know who they are. So why are they asking the public? When I say they know who they are, have you heard that there is facial identification applications? You don't think the FBI has facial identification such as, I don't know which one they use, but Clearview AI is the leader in the field. You think there's nobody in the FBI who has the app that thousands of law enforcement agencies use routinely? Nobody at the FBI knows that there's a facial recognition app that they can have in, I don't know, 30 minutes. It would take them to, buy a license for it. What's wrong with the story? The FBI publishing these faces, I don't know what the purpose is, but it's certainly not identification, because they know who they are. You could call somebody today. I could literally do this. I could literally, personally, get their identities probably in half an hour, if I had access to the app, but you have to be law enforcement to do it. So you could pretty much find somebody in law enforcement who has the app, and without any violation of any licenses or privacy, say, hey, do you have the app? And let's say some police officer somewhere says, yeah, we use this all the time. And you say, did you see this tweet? Here's 10 faces. Point your app at the tweet and tell me who they are. And this is how hard it would be. Here's the tweet, and then you take your other phone with the app and you just point it at it, and you identify them instantly. Now you're telling me the FBI doesn't know that? What is the FBI doing? Is it part of demonizing Trump supporters? Is that what's happening? Because I can't think of a reason they do it, unless it's just some automatic process, and maybe it's just the process that they always publish them or something. I don't know. But I got a question, because they certainly don't need to do it. By the time that was tweeted, they had all those names. Long before somebody could have done a Photoshop to put the 10 faces onto a page, the time it would take you to Photoshop the page of the 10 faces is way longer than it took to identify them. Literally, this is them identify them. Snap, and there's the name. That's literally it. If you haven't seen it done, it's shocking. It's shocking that it works, and it basically works every time for all practical purposes. Have I considered starting my own bank? Well, I do.
Yeah, so here's the deal. They are virtue posting. They are trying to gin up a crowd to basically do something akin to witch hunts. Now, they've been normalizing this behavior for the past 5 or 6 years with dissident voices, people that they disagree with, people that I disagree with. But the concept of naming and shaming and kind of exposing online to the public is something that is being completely normalized by the feds. They're turning people against each other in a really vicious, evil way. Internet mobs. So that if your opinion is anywhere, I don't know, right of center, they're going to start normalizing the behavior of this kind of behavior. Show up to a speech of somebody they don't like. Here's their name. Here's where they work. Here's the phone number. Maybe you should go say something. Maybe you should do something. Aren't you a fucking patriot? Aren't you a patriot, you boot-licking fucking commie? Aren't you a fucking patriot? Huh? Big Daddy over there? So Scott Adams kind of floats the question out there. He knows the fucking answer. He's being coy. Not the biggest Scott Adams guy. But he does tend to come things from kind of a more logical perspective. He's like, let's work through this. He knows the answer. He knows why. He's just playing coy. He's playing coy. Nobody wants to come out and say it, but you're going to have all these fucking idiots. And as you've seen, this is a big social experiment. What's going on yesterday, what's going on now, social media, conservatives, whatever, left-leaning people, all seal clapping like fucking idiots, like all like, oh, while they all fucking champion the state. At the same time, simultaneously, all year talking about how systemically evil the state is. That it's fucking racist, that it's this, that it's that, it's whatever. Oh, but when it comes to people that you don't like, well, suddenly it's okay. Suddenly this wanton, evil, fucking gross, bootlicking behavior is fine. It's a fucking joke. It's a fucking farce, and everybody's being manipulated. You know, I'm sure somebody out there, oh, it's fucking conspiratorial. You're being crazy. You're being too much. Like, fuck that. You think this stuff hasn't been happening for fucking ever? This is just the modern version of it. This is the modern version of a psyop. It's been going on since these federal agencies have been a thing. Fuck, you go all the way farther back. Take it all the way back to like the Pinkertons. This kind of stuff has been going on for a long time. Don't think you're too smart to understand that or whatever. And I'm saying this for people of all walks of life. I'm not talking specifically to conservatives or liberals or progressives or whatever. Because I'll tell you what, the progressive wing, the Bernie bros, the Bernie Sanders type people, you're fucking next. You're dissidents. They don't want to fucking hear from you. They did it to get elected. They did it to get fucking elected. You can make the same argument 2016. Trump did not, too harshly condemn certain wings of right-wing ideology or identity, whatever you want to call it. It's because he needed to fucking win. He needed them to win. Biden needed you to win. Don't be a fucking sucker. Don't be a fucking sucker. Don't be a fucking rat for the federal government. They know who these people are. They'll be able to find them. They don't need your help. They're doing it so you feel good about them doing this shit. Wake the fuck up.